is a young man who I've been looking forward to having on the show for several years. He is a former local resident who was an assistant trainer for a number of years. He is now out on his own and doing quite well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chad Brown. Chad, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I don't know how much you remember about this story, but a few years ago you introduced yourself to me, and I said, well, we got to have you on the show. And what happened at that point?
Well, I was still a little nervous, and Bobby had me busy up here with about 50 horses, so I guess I just wasn't quite ready.
But now that you're winning races at the premier meet in the country, you're ready.
Yeah, I'll come on any time now.
Also, give the audience some background on yourself. You grew up in the area, but give them a little bit of background on Chad Brown.
Well, I grew up in Mechanicville, went to Mechanicville High. I went to college in Cornell, right in Ithaca. I was lucky enough to, I started with the Standardbreds right over here across the street with a guy named Paul Kelly who showed me the ropes and met a lot of good horsemen over there who was my real first contact with horses. And then from there I was lucky enough to land a job with Shug McGaughey, went to Belmont and worked the summer breaks from college and winter breaks down at Gulfstream and traveled around a little bit, and then I was lucky to land a job with Bobby.
Shug McGaughey and Bobby Frankel. That's quite a duo to serve an apprenticeship under. Let's talk about what did you take from each of those operations, working with Shug and Buzz Tenney first? What are some of the things you took from that operation that you're using on a daily basis now?
Well, they're very organized, the way they run the Jedro every morning, and just to be around that high quality of horse too. The horses teach you a lot. They're patient with their horses. They check them each day, and both operations are real similar.
And with Bobby, you work with a lot of the Juddmonte horses. Again, are you taking anything specific away from those years with Mr. Frankel?
Yeah, well, when I started working for Bobby, it kind of took it to another level. There was more horses. At the time, we were shipping a lot and running, which Bobby really has a knack for. It looks easy, but to prepare horses for Grade 1 races and then also organize having to ship them into places and have everything run smooth, it's really difficult. And I learned a lot watching them do it time after time with good results.
How long have you been out on your own?
Right after the Breeders' Cup last fall. The day after the Breeders' Cup, I went on my own, and we planned it out, and he helped me a lot getting started. And so I've been doing it since then.
And you've got quite a few horses for Gary and Mary West, and they had to be an awfully big help to get you started.
Yeah, right from the start, they let me know they were going to help me, as well as Ken and Sarah Ramsey. And then slowly, other owners started to follow in and throw me a horse or two, and it's worked out well so far.
Well, you continue to win races at Saratoga.
It's tough, right?
And the owners are going to be calling you left and right for a look at Chad's two winners thus far at the meet. And a discussion, here's Michael.
And before we get to those, and Chad, thanks for being with us this morning, I want to actually take you back to something you said earlier about Paul Kelly and the harness track. And I'm asking this question because you're not the first thoroughbred trainer who has paid a compliment to the people who handle horses over there. For our audience, you know, a little bit of elaboration on the type of horsemanship that's in harness racing, because you hear this a lot here.
Some of the best horsemen I've ever
Yep.
met are over there.
Yep.
The blacksmiths, I learned a lot from shoeing the horses early on with the Standardbreds. It's a lot more involved. The Standardbred trainers sit behind the horses, and they're constantly making adjustments, equipment-wise, vet work, shoeing.
Yeah.
It's very involved, and we did a lot of traveling all over New York and New Jersey, fairs, and met a lot of good people and a lot of good horsemen.
I agree, and I'm glad to hear you say that. Now, to the horses, and we talked about Gary and Mary West, and when we have it ready, we're going to look at opening day here, race 1 with Star Player, trained by Chad, and then you get to take a look at him. He's number 9 in the Pink Silks in second. Chad, this performance, obviously exciting, but the horse himself.
Yeah, you know, it rained off the grass. The horse is coming off a win at Monmouth on the turf. But he's always trained well on the dirt, and he had experience running on the dirt as a 2-year-old. So when it came off the grass, I called Ben Glass, the racing manager, and they're really great to work with. You know, if I wanted to run, they left it up to me. and I told him the horse was training unbelievable, so they let me lead him over there, and he won.
And just a couple of days later, on the 25th, winner number 2 is Midtown Bullet, owned by Gabriel Farm and David Nicholas. Talk about this performance when we get to see it. Number 9, he'll be third on the outside, Chad, and tell us about this horse.
This horse was training very well. His gait works were especially well up here. With 2-year-olds, you never know what's going to happen, especially at Saratoga. But I was happy to see when he got bounced around at the start and then here at the top of the lane that he dug in there. He had every right to throw in the towel if he wanted to, and he really dug in there. He showed me something.
Now, Chad, this weekend is the New York Bred Preferred Yearling Sale. Do you have any interest in this? Are you looking for any clients this weekend?
Yeah.
Good.
I've probably looked at every horse in the sale over there already. You know, we're starting to weed them out and vet some horses out. There's a lot of activity over there. I think it's going to be hard to buy the good ones. Jazzy Tipton's really done a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the best group of horses I've seen up here.
All right.
So, but we're going to try to buy some.
Now, any specific type that you're looking for? Don't have to tell me which ones you're looking to buy, but in your mind, if you had to get 2 or 3 that you like, the type that you're looking for?
Well, you know, I'm not real big on big horses. I think they, you know, they're harder to keep sound generally. So more racier types. You know, dirt pedigrees probably. There's more races for them, I think, over here. But just looking for athletes, really, regardless of the pedigrees over there.
Okay. Very good to see you this morning. Mark.
How special was it for you to win the first race on opening day at Saratoga?
Well, we had it planned all year long that we were going to win the first race.
Yeah,
that's
good.
It was a lot of luck involved, and a lot of people tell you you're better off being lucky than good. So I'll take luck.
Yeah, well, you're good too. But you were the leading trainer at Saratoga for a period of about 32 or 33 minutes. 2 wins at the meet. You should be. That really is terrific. It really is. Tomorrow, a couple of horses entered. Chit Chat Cat, who was claimed off our next guest, will go in a sprint tomorrow.
Yeah, training well. We think we have her in the right spot, but we'll see. It's Saratoga. You never know.
And Spanky Fishbein, you said you were looking for, you passed a couple of stakes to look for a soft allowance spot, but you didn't find a soft allowance spot, did you?
No, Barclay Tag had to put Groom for Victory in there. It surprised me a little bit, but we're running. The horse is training well. I think I learned something the first time I ran him. So hopefully we get a little bit of a cleaner trip, and he should fire.
God willing, we're sitting here in 5 years talking right on this same set. Where would Chad Brown like to be in 5 years?
Hopefully talking about the Travers. If there's any race I really want to win, I would take that over the Derby.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Tell the audience before we let you go, when you came down and sat between us on the set, you started by saying, I don't want to make you feel old, but...
So I grew up watching you guys on TV up here, so I don't want to date either of you, but I've been watching the show for a long time.
The kid's only 17.
That bothers him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are thrilled for you.
Absolutely,
Great
Chad.
job. Keep it going, and we'll look forward to having you on the show quite often over the next 5 years.
Anytime. I'd love to come on.
Thank you, Chad. Chad Brown, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to our next break on this morning's edition of Down the Stretch on a lovely Saratoga Saturday where the feature race is the Duke of Magenta. When Michael and I return, we will welcome in our final guest of the morning. Mr. Ken McPeak is represented in 2 of the 4 overnight stakes later on.